Okay, so once we set up a question and created a few more questions in our test, we can then look at the test settings, and that's done by clicking the cogwheel here. You can set a due date, you can prohibit late submissions, you can prohibit a new attempt after the due date. If they've already started, they're given time to finish. You can allow class conversations, very useful if you're doing quizzes. You can display one question at a time rather than all the questions in one go. You can randomize the questions, so my question 1 may be different to somebody else's question 1. You can randomize the answers. This is quite a useful way of stopping students from cheating. And you can, I'm going to say you can collect submissions offline. You can't actually collect submissions offline, not with multiple choice questions. We can give it a category. This is what will show up in the grade book, and we can allow a number of attempts. The number of attempts, of course, can be increased whilst the test is in session. So if someone mucks up, you can give them another attempt, for instance. Marks can be used in points or percentages or categorical marking. And in this particular case, it's telling us that the maximum number of points is 10. Notice over here, it's 10 points for this question. Anonymous marking is not allowed on this type of question. 2 markers, not relevant, of course, and peer review, not relevant in multi-choice type questions. We have this situation where assessments can assessment marks automatically post a mark when the assessment has been marked. That is ticked. In some exam situations, you might not want to release that assessment mark until you've reviewed all the student marks, so you can untick that. But in most cases, it's, unless it's an exam, it's worth releasing that mark straight away. You then get some assessment results available, so you can make the assessment results available after submission. Automatic question feedback, that can be available after submission. Question scores, that can be available when all the marks have been posted. Now, when they say the question scores, what they're really referring to is not the overall score. They're actually referring to the individual scores. And when they go back, they can actually see what the correct answers are. Very good for quizzes. Maybe for an exam you won't wish to show the correct answers until a much later date. The passcode here is a useful feature. This means that nobody can start the test unless they have the access code. It is also useful if you are testing the system yourself and you don't want students to go into the system whilst you are testing it as in preview mode. Additional tools where you can have time limits. Rubrics are not applicable here. You can align it with goals. Assign groups. You can assign groups, so groups can get these questions in different orders at different times, etc. And there's the originality report is not applicable, so that can then be saved. We didn't make any changes, so we'll leave that be, and you will then see a brief summary of what the test is showing us. Okay, in the next video we shall talk about creating some more questions. Okay.